Good morning students. We are going to study chemistry for class 8. This is video number 2 for the second chapter. For the third chapter, elements, compounds and mixtures. And today we are going to study about compounds. In the last video I already told you matter can be broadly classified into two. Pure substances and impure substances, and pure substances are further divided into two, elements and compounds. Regarding elements, I told you they are made up of only one kind of atoms, and today we are going to study compounds. Compounds are made up of more than one kind of atoms, or we can say compounds are made up of two or more elements that are chemically combined in a fixed ratio. Okay? A compound is a substance made up of two or more elements that are chemically combined in a fixed ratio. Let us see the properties of compounds. A compound is made up of two or more elements. Always a compound will have more than one element. One example we can see like ammonia, you see NH3 is the formula. So we see it is formed by the combination of nitrogen and hydrogen. One more example, sodium hydroxide we can take. Its formula is NaOH. It is formed by the combination of sodium, oxygen and hydrogen atoms. So you see it consists of different kind of atoms. That means it consists of different kind of elements. So the first point I hope is clear, that a compound is made up of two or more elements. We see here two elements are there, here three elements are there. Even more also is possible. Okay. Then the next one, a compound is always made up of the same element combined in a fixed ratio. That means if I want to make common salt, sodium chloride, that is also a compound, I have to mix sodium and chlorine together, and that also the ratio is fixed, that is 1:1 ratio. You see the formula, NaCl. It is formed by combining one atom of sodium and one atom of chlorine. Wherever you are making, whether you are making here in India or in America, you have to take sodium and chlorine and combine together in 1:1 ratio. That ratio is fixed. Alright. The same is the case with ammonia also. Ammonia, when you have to form, you have to take one nitrogen and three hydrogen atoms. Then sodium hydroxide, one sodium, one oxygen and one hydrogen. Okay. A compound is homogeneous. Homogeneous means same composition and properties throughout. Homo means what? Same. If a substance has the same composition and properties throughout, then it is called homogeneous. That means if you are taking a water molecule, suppose if we take from tap water, and the other molecule we are taking from Bisleri water. Bisleri, that bottles come in packed waters, and one more molecule we are going to take from ocean water. All the three will be H2O only. Same composition and same properties. Okay, that means all the compounds are homogeneous. In fact, I tell you, all the pure substances, they are homogeneous. But mixtures, we will see mixtures can be homogeneous as well as heterogeneous. That we'll see in the coming videos. Okay. Then the properties of the compounds are different from those of its constituent elements. That means after the combination, you know, for a compound to be formed, chemical combination is there. After that chemical reaction, what is formed? A new substance is formed. That will not show the properties of the constituent elements. One example we can take of common salt. You know, common salt formula is NaCl. It is formed by combination of sodium and chlorine. Sodium and chlorine we have to combine together to form common salt. But sodium and chlorine, you know, they are poisonous in nature. If you consume them, they are going to harm you. But sodium chloride, what is formed after their combination, it is necessary for our health. Daily we use that or add it to our food. Sodium chloride, common salt, you see, that is very necessary for our food. But sodium and chlorine, they are poisonous. So we see they are not able to show their poisonous nature in the compound. Okay. One more example we can take water. You know, it is formed by combining hydrogen and oxygen. But you know, hydrogen and oxygen at room temperature, they are gases. But after their combination, what is formed? Water. It is liquid in state. One more difference is there, that oxygen it is a supporter of combustion, and hydrogen burns, but water, what is formed after their combination, it is used to put out fire. So you see a vast difference is there in the properties. The properties are drastically changed. So we see the constituent elements are not able to show their properties in the compounds. The reason is that a compound is formed after a chemical combination. After chemically combining, after chemical combination, new substances are formed, and that new substance will have its own properties. It will not show the properties of the constituent elements. Okay. Then next point, it is not possible to separate the constituents of a mixture by physical means. That means if I tell you to separate hydrogen and oxygen from water, what are you going to do? Are you going to take a hammer and strike that water? Do you think with that hydrogen and oxygen molecules will come out? No, that is not going to happen. Or if you boil water, if you boil, that water will be converted to steam, isn't it? But steam also is H2O. In that also hydrogen and oxygen are not separated. Or if you filter water, then also what will happen? All water molecules will come out. Don't think that hydrogen will remain on the sieve. So we see that it is not possible to separate the constituents of a mixture by physical means. We can do it only by chemical means. One example I will tell you for that. That is electrolysis. Electrolysis is the process by which we can separate hydrogen and oxygen from water. What do we have to do? We have to take water and also acidified water, because pure water, it does not conduct electricity. So we will take acidified water, in that we will put two electrodes. Electrodes means metal bars we have to use. One positive electrode and one negative electrode. They are called cathode and anode. And we will see when we pass electricity through that water, the gases will be evolved. At one electrode, oxygen will be evolved, and at the other electrode, hydrogen will be evolved. So in that way, we can see the constituents of a compound can be separated, but only by chemical means, not by physical means. Okay. Then the next, energy is usually given off or absorbed when a compound is formed. Whenever a compound is formed, then the energy is either given off or absorbed. The reason is very simple, because a chemical change is taking place. Whenever a chemical change takes place, energy is either given off or absorbed depending on the constituent elements. Like when hydrogen and oxygen combine to form water, energy, heat and light energy is given out. Okay. So that's all for compounds. Let us have the points read again quickly. A compound is made up of two or more elements. A compound is always made up of the same elements combined in a fixed ratio. A compound is homogeneous. The properties of compounds are different from those of its constituent elements. It is not possible to separate the constituents of a mixture by physical means. And the last, energy is usually given off or absorbed when a compound is formed. Let us study mixtures now. A mixture consists of two or more pure substances that are not chemically combined, and they can be present in any ratio. Okay. A mixture consists of two or more pure substances. When I say pure substances, they can be elements or compounds or both. That means a mixture can be formed by two elements, or it can be formed by two compounds, or it can be formed by an element and a compound. If they combine, they also are going to form a mixture. And also their proportion is not fixed, and they are not chemically combined. The easiest example is the things that are prepared in your kitchen. Nowadays you must be enjoying delicious food at home, I know. That means whatever your mother prepares at home, or whatever sabzi she prepares, that is a mixture. Like one example we can take potato curry. Suppose if you like spicy food, your mother is going to add more chilies to that spicy food, and one of your friends who doesn't like that spicy food, his mother will be adding less chilies to that. But both the potato curries, both are mixtures, isn't it? And both consist of the same things also. Okay, and their proportions is not fixed. Alright, and also we see there is no chemical bond in between that potato and that onion. We don't see any bond in between them. So there is no chemical combination, and their proportion is not fixed. Proportion means how much we are going to add, that is not fixed. Okay, let us see the definition. A mixture consists of molecules of two or more substances, elements, compounds or both in any proportion such that they do not undergo a chemical change. One more example we can take for mixture is air. Air, you have studied from lower section that it is a mixture of gases. In fact, the percentages also you know that oxygen 21%, then nitrogen 78%, 1% other gases, in that 1% 0.003% carbon dioxide, 0.9% argon, all that you know. That means so many gases are there in the air, but they are not chemically combined, okay, and the proportion is also not fixed. We can understand like Basti, the place, it is a less polluted city, isn't it? So we see less poisonous gases are there, less nitrogen dioxide, less sulfur dioxide, less carbon dioxide. But if we move to metro cities like Delhi and Mumbai, there the pollution level is high, so there is more concentration of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So we see air is a mixture of gases, in that the gases are not chemically combined and their proportion is not fixed. Okay, we can see few more examples like milk. Milk, although it looks like a pure substance, we say milk is very pure, but it is a mixture. It consists of fat molecules, then some protein molecules are there, water is there. So we see so many things are mixed in milk. Okay. Then seawater you know, water is there, salt is there, and so many minerals are present there, so it is a mixture. And soil, of course, so many particles are present. Aerated drinks means cold drinks. You know, cold drinks, they are of course not pure, they are mixtures. In that, in fact, gas is also dissolved. You know, carbon dioxide is dissolved in that, isn't it? At high pressure, carbon dioxide is packed in that bottle and mixed, and that because of that only the taste comes. Actually, what we are drinking in that cold drinks is carbonic acid. Alright. Then petrol, cough syrup, muddy water, paint, all these are examples of mixtures. Now there is one more term, solution. A mixture can be in the form of solution also. That means, what is a solution? In which a substance is dissolved in the other. The substance which is dissolved is called solute, and the other in which it is dissolved is called the solvent. We can take one example like sugar and water. If you take 1 spoon sugar and 1 glass of water, you dissolve that sugar in that. Then that solid sugar particle is called the solute, and what water we had taken is called the solvent. They mix together to form a solution of sugar and water, but of course that is a mixture. That means that sugar and water are not chemically combined and the ratio is not fixed. Like if I like to add more sugar, 1 more spoon of sugar if I want to add, I can dissolve in that same glass, and again that will be sugar and water solution only and nothing else. Okay, so you understood mixtures can be in the form of solutions also. That's all for today's video. Today we studied about compounds and mixtures, and I told you to write the question answers in the fair copy. I hope you people have completed the first and second chapter. Now you can note down the homework. Fill in the blanks. The first one, elements are represented by dash. Second, the symbol of sodium is dash. Third, the elements present in common salt are dash and dash. A dash is a substance made up of 2 or more elements. The properties of compounds are different from those of its constituent dash. Okay, you can note these, fill in the blanks in the copy and do the homework. Thank you.